3, 2, 1.
Yeah, free. Do you know what? That's how I started a lot of these podcasts, with a little 3, 2, 1, and we clap together. But I haven't done that in a long time. Should we do that?
Yeah, go for it.
3, 2, 1.
Cool.
And we're in.
Yeah.
Thank you, John. So we're here today. We were just talking a little bit about sharing and oversharing and not knowing where that kind of line is. That can be kind of quite hard for us to find sometimes.
Yeah, definitely.
It's taken me personally a long time to get there. I'm 41 and I feel like I've only just starting to feel at ease with that sharing thing. So where do you sit with that?
Well, my journey's quite a long one, but I don't want to bore you too much with it. But yeah, I used to work for Sony Centres, and I was manager of a Sony Centre in Harlow for a long, long time. And basically, I decided one day, I met this American guy, and he said about, you can't live here for all your life, and all this sort of stuff. And I started putting things together in my head. My head was working overtime. I think, what am I doing here? And I had a bit of savings at the time, and I decided to quit my job. And I did quit it after 20 years of working there.
And that was instigated by someone dropping a seed like that to you?
It was something, I'll never forget, he said, he showed me something called 10 Reasons Never to Get a Job.
Mm-hmm. That sounds good.
Honestly.
Do you remember them? It sounds like
I remember some of them. Mm-hmm. It was like 10 Reasons Never to Get a Job, the only, what was one of them? When you work for someone, all you're doing is trading your time for what they think you're worth. Yeah. And you're worth more than that. Mm-hmm. And it's just things just started settling in my head about, if you work for a boss, they control you. I get the people are happy in their work. Don't get me wrong. Yes. Excuse me. But, they control you, like control when you can go away on holiday, control when you eat, when your lunch break is. And all these things started going into my head, and I was thinking, I can't be living like this much more. I've got to start doing my own thing. Mm-hmm. And in terms of what you just asked me about the sharing stuff, when I left, everything was rosy at first. And then it started getting a bit worrying, where am I going to get work from? I need to go out and get a job. Yeah. So I need to go back into that field of working for someone else again because, my money was running out, and I started going into a very dark place in my head. Mm-hmm. And then I had a panic attack, massive panic attack. And then, which I thought I was dying, to be honest with the panic attack. But I remember the ambulance guy turned up and just said, oh no, he's having a panic attack. And there was me thinking I was dying. I was saying goodbye to my kids and everything. Mm-hmm. But it was, and basically after I had a panic attack, I ended up going to see a doctor. They put me on antidepressants, which I'll never go on again, ever. Mm-hmm. And that was the first start of my journey in terms of my mental health side of things. And I couldn't go out, I couldn't do anything, I couldn't be with people. It was a nightmare for my wife. She supported me massively, my family did. But it was difficult. I'd go out to a pub and like, Jesus, I've got to get out of here. I've got to get out. And that's how I was. And then, after a period of time, getting my head round with things, I started, because I had a camera, so I thought, I'm going to try some photography work. And I knew a bit about photography because where I worked with at Sony UK. Mm-hmm. So I started shadowing wedding photographers. And that was really good. That was really nerve-wracking, but I shadowed these guys, and I didn't charge them anything. I just went along, and they were happy with my work. And then I thought, right, I've got to start doing this myself. Mm-hmm. And I went on and done that. And then I created my own little business, if you like, called Alternative Portraits. And it was going really well. And I was doing an array of photography services. I was doing parties, weddings, you name it, I was doing it. And then I don't want to jump the gun too much.
No, so you were covering quite a lot there from that moment of...
Yeah, it's like...
because a lot happens from that moment that we make a change in life where we jump into something new. So you took a leap out of working for an employer that probably felt quite stable at that time, and was, life was looked one way, but then overnight you changed it to make it look like something else. And it doesn't just get figured out straight away, does it? It takes time.
It doesn't
to find things, and in that process, like you say, there are these moments where you have panic attacks, and I've had multiple panic attacks in my life, and those moments where I feel like I'm dying and the world is over and everything's closing in, you know, and you know, is those people that are close to you, like you said, like your wife, your family, your children, that really kind of pull you through it. How do you find then that you came out of that moment of feeling like life is ending, the world is over? How did you find yourself coming out of that and being able to go into like a new field?
Yeah, it's weird. So I was struggling still. So I decided to go and see Mind, a lady at Mind. And it was a big step for me. And I think the problem is with a lot of people is their ego gets in the way. Now, the ego, to me, can be good for you, but majority of the time it's a bad thing. And people need to release that ego. And I had a big ego. And my wife, you know, go and see this lady at Mind. No, I'm not going. That's my ego talking. So, you know, it's like the good ego there, good ego there. You know, no, don't go. Oh, go and let him. You know, do you know what I mean? And I was listening to this one too much. And in the end, this one sort of said, no, you got to go. And I went. And she was great. I went there once a week. Didn't tell anyone. The only person that knew I was going there was my wife. And she put me on to something that helped save me, a book. And she said, I want you to read this. And if you don't think it's any good, and this was my first reaction, I'm not reading that. There you go. Right? And then I accepted it, I read it. And then my daughter, she was into this book as well. It's called The Secret.
Yes, yeah, I know it very well.
The Secret. I've actually got it in my bag, actually.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah,
hold on.
You got it? You got it there?
It's right here. Well, there's a version. I've got a secret gratitude book.
Yeah.
Right here.
There you go. Yeah. So, and I urge anyone to read that because it's if you buy into it, it's what life is all about, as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, she helped me. It's quite fun. This is quite funny. There was one thing she did, and I was suffering from paranoia as well. You know, I'd go into a pub or something. Are they talking about me? I'd walk out and what are they saying? You know, I was terrible for that.
Okay.
And she said to me, I want you to create a list. I want you to get an A4 sheet of paper. I want you to draw a line down the middle, a line on the top. On this side, it's good people. On the other side, you can call it what you want. And on that side, I want you to start writing down the names of people that you've realised are not worth you being part of your life. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Right?
So it's
So
they're like creating a clear divide for you, rather than this messy space of it all being in your head and thinking who's saying this, who's saying that.
Yeah, it was crazy. So and I said to her, I remember Christine, her name was, and I said to her, "Really? I like everyone, you know, because I'm a people's person. I love everybody. No, do it, John, do it." I was like, okay. And it was quite funny, yeah. And I said, what do I call it? What do I call it? And she said, call it what you want. I call mine nasty people, she said. I went, oh, okay. And she said, you could call yours bellends.
Yeah.
Right? So I did. So I got my bellend list, yeah. And a lot of my friends know about my bellend list. And it was quite surprising how many people went on it.
Right, okay.
Yeah, it really was.
So what did that do for you then, having that list and defining who was a bellend?
That's nasty. I mean, I don't want people to think that's a nasty thing to say, but it was just what she written.
I think what we're trying to get at here is in a jokey way, we're trying to define who the good people for us are and who the bad people for us.
Yes,
aren't we?
Yeah, and you know, obviously I'm not going to mention any names, but there was a couple of individuals that were sort of the type of people that now in today's world, I know these people are insecure. That's all they are. They're bullies and insecure. Whereas people that would take the mickey out of you in front of everyone, you know, and say certain things. And to me, I now know that's total insecurity. At the time, I didn't know that. I started putting these people's names, and then I knew. And then when I met Christine every week, how's it going? Yeah, and I showed her the list. She said, "Oh, you got a few names on there." So who's that one at the top? Champions League spot. I was like, yeah. It's just, and I thought that person at the top, I thought I'd never put him on there, but yeah, he's on there, you know, and it's not the sort of thing where I stop talking to people. It's the sort of thing where I still talk to them, hi, yeah, hey, but I wouldn't involve myself with them as much as I used to.
By defining who they were, it sounds like you were protecting yourself.
Yeah.
That you gave yourself boundaries, that you went, right, this person I need to be like this with. I need to be, you know, I need to look after myself like with that person. It
was like that. And going on from that, I feel a lot more relaxed now, by the way. At the beginning, I was waffling.
That's what happens. We're just having it's just a conversation.
I feel really relaxed now.
Good.
But so during that period, I started doing quite well at my photography and that. And I was never one for like, I want to be a millionaire. I want to be filthy rich. I want to work my heart into the ground. I was never one of those people because I did that enough for 20 years where I was working. And I never saw my kids grow up. Always working, late nights, Sundays, bank holidays, Boxing Day. I'd have Christmas Day off and go work next day, you know. So that's one of my regrets. I never saw my kids growing up properly. It's always at work. Or down the pub.
Well, you need to have a break, don't you?
Yeah, but it was, you know, and yeah, so from that time, I got into my photography a lot more, started getting some cameras and stuff, and I was getting better at it every day. Every job I was doing, I was getting better. Then I started working on my own. One of the photographers I shadowed, he said to me, I've got a wedding in 2 weeks. I've got another wedding. I need you to do it. Oh, my God. I was like, I was really scared. And
I guess there's a lot of pressure on a wedding, isn't there?
It's terrible.
Because, you know, it's that day, you know, it's not a photo studio shoot where you can take your time and retake shots. You have to capture moments.
Yeah, but everyone I do, I'm not being big-headed or anything, I smash it. And it's a bit like acting, I suppose. Like my daughter, she's an actress, and before she goes on stage or before she goes on set, she's a nervous wreck. 20 toilet visits.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm the same. If you ask my wife, if I've got a wedding, from Monday to that Saturday, I'm hell to live with. You know, it's just... but when I get there, I smash it. Yes. I think that's the adrenaline inside you and just your passion.
Yeah, because
what you do.
Because you care, the nerves come out because you're thinking and your body's reacting to that. Yeah. That's the nerves and like you say, the adrenaline.
It is crazy. It's but yeah. So I started doing quite well at my work, and then because my daughter became an actress, she went in to get some headshots done in London. And we paid for them, and it was expensive at the time, very expensive. And there was me thinking, oh, you're going to get about 20 edited shots. She got 2.
Yeah.
She got 2 edited 10 by 8 for what they call spotlight for actors and actresses. I said, you're joking me, you got 2 shots? Are you having a laugh? And I was like, what?
Yeah.
And Kirsty turned around to me and said, why don't you do it, Dad? And I thought, you know what? I can do this.
Yeah.
And, so my company, you know, it's a one-man band, sole trader, AP Headshot Photography. I changed it to AP Headshot Photography. I don't know, I was racking my brains what I called it. It was alternative portrait, so I thought keep the same A and P, let's call it Headshot Photography. And, that started going well, and at first it was a bit rusty, obviously, like anything else, and then it built up. And then I was getting really confident, and everything was coming to me in certain ways, a lot to do with the book we spoke about, The Secret. I started visualising stuff. I know this sounds crazy to a lot of people watching or listening, but I started visualising stuff, and this stuff was happening. It's unbelievable. If you want to, quickly, I can say a really weird thing about that.
Yeah, go on. I love it. I'm a believer in The Secret and asking the universe. We wouldn't be sat here right now if it wasn't for The Secret.
No, that's right. No, I agree. And you are right. And I now know in this part of my life that everything happens for a reason. Everything. Whether it's good or whether it's bad. Now, some bad things happen for a reason. Some good things happen for a reason. But it's like it's all a part of the jigsaw puzzle, I think. But anyway, yeah. When I first got into The Secret, again, my ego got in the way a little bit. Oh, what's this? You know, and Christine at Mind asked me to read the book. It was about visualization, and start visualizing something and just put it in your mind and just keep thinking about that object, and then feel inside here that it's already happened for you. So it's come to you, you know. And I thought, yeah, I'm going to try this stuff. I really am. And started talking to Kirsty about it, and she said, Dad, yeah, you got to try it and all that. Some of the stuff that's happened to Kirsty is unbelievable. I mean, Kirsty's famous one for The Secret. She had a vision board in her bedroom with Albert Square on it.
And
then she got in EastEnders. She was in EastEnders. So it's weird. It's weird how this stuff works. And I know there's going to be a lot of people listening or watching that are thinking, well, because
of course, because it's all it's
something new.
It's woo woo, and it's
spooky.
And it's something. It's not tangible. We can't measure it. We can only look at these stories and hear about experiences and experience it for ourselves. And I have 2 experiences recently that I can forward to. And I've got to this place where I believe that The Secret works when it is attached to a feeling. It's not just a wanting. It's not just I want this and therefore it's going to be delivered. It's an actual feeling, like a passion. And when we're following our path like you do, when we're following the thing that we're supposed to do, that's when it unfolds. That's when it gets presented to you. So a few months back, I had a little moment where I've been doing this for nearly 2 years, and I've got this studio now where I can do this, but there's a lot of costs that are involved with doing the podcast. And I was in this moment of, I can't keep doing this unless I get some money. I need some income from this. I need to be making money directly from the podcast. I don't know if I'm ready. I don't know if this is going to work, but I need it. And I said that out loud. I need some money now from doing this. And that same day, a guest that had been on the podcast exactly a year prior, messages me out of the blue. She hasn't contacted me in a year. Says, are you still doing the podcasting? My company I work for want to do a podcast. Can you come in and create a podcast for them and give them a quote?
Bingo!
Yeah, there and then.
Yeah, it's great.
Where did that come from?
See,
I didn't force that. I didn't reach out to her. I didn't start messaging everyone I know saying, "Can you give me money? Can you give me a job in podcasting?" She messages me.
Yeah, I've had that loads, and that's brilliant. I love it.
Yeah,
and like, because obviously me and you think alike in that sense. I'm not sort of sitting there thinking,
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I believe every word
because
you're saying.
you've had similar experiences. Yeah.
But the first time it was quite funny. So it was bizarre. So right, I'm going to try this. So I'm walking my dog, who's not with us anymore, bless him. I'm walking him, and I'm thinking, right, I'm going to think of an object. So I'm walking him along. So I thought, I'm going to think of a real simple object that you see every day, a pigeon feather. Because I see loads of them when I'm walking my dog. They're everywhere, yeah? But this pigeon feather is going to be different to anything else. It's going to be thick jet black at the top. And then it's going to be split in the middle, a little split in the middle. Then it's going to be very, very dark grey and very light white at the bottom. And I just pictured that pigeon feather. People think I'm mad now. But I was pictured this pigeon feather. And I kept thinking about it every day for about 3 days. Yeah. And then I started thinking, I've already seen it. I've got it. Yeah. And then I felt good inside because I've seen it. I've wanted to see it and I've seen it.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen it. I'm walking my dog and I suffer from asthma. And my asthma pump fell out of my jacket and fell to the floor on the grass. I bent down. There was my feather. Couldn't believe it, right? It was how I wanted it to be. And I was like, I was shocked. So I picked it up, kept it in my pocket. That pigeon feather is still in my office now. Right, it's in a drawer, actually. I should get it. It's in a drawer. So I thought, this stuff works, yeah? A few days later, my dad had to go to Harlow Eye Unit. Dad's not with us anymore, unfortunately, but he had, and it was the middle of the summer. Baking hot. So I thought, right, I'm going to get a little bit creative with this. And I thought of my next object of being 3 quill feathers, you know, like what they used to write with in the olden days.
Yes, yeah.
Right? Bright white, 3 of them. And I just kept picturing them. Now I could see them on the TV in an advert or a magazine or whatever, if I'm going to see it.
Mm-hmm.
So I took my dad to the eye unit and we're sitting there and we're baking hot. And then my dad said to me, John, do us a favour, go and get us a cup of water from the water machine. I said, yeah, no worries. So I went over there. So I've gone over there, got a cup of water, pouring it in. And I looked up the emblem of the water company, my 3 quill feathers.
Mm. Wow.
I've literally gone in my head. I didn't jump, go, woo, because everyone's in the waiting room. I was like, my God. I can't tell my dad because he'll think I'm nutting up.
No.
Right? So I thought, this is unbelievable. This happened in the space of a week.
Mm-hmm.
And then certain things, and I've told friends about it, and yeah, well, if it's that good, why don't you...
Why don't you envisage £1 million?
Yeah, you know, and all that. It doesn't work like that.
No, I don't think you can test the universe. I think the universe is definitely... I think the universe is on your side.
Yeah.
I think the universe wants you to win, but I don't think it wants to be tested. I don't think that whatever force is going on wants you to go, prove me right. Prove me wrong. It's not about that. It's almost about like little nudges. It's up to us if we go out and find that £1 million, but the universe can point us in the direction of it.
Yes, yeah, and I do believe that you know, when I say everything happens for a reason, and don't get me wrong, I just got to say this, I still have my wobbles. I'm human. I still have my emotions.
Mm-hmm.
The difference between me now and back then is I know how to control it. I still get the ump about things, especially when my football team loses.
Yeah. It sounds like we're in a very similar place in our life, John.
But I know how to control it.
I'm the same. I had a point in my life, and it was I think for a lot of us, it was happening around that point of COVID, where things went very dark for me. Where
that's when I'm going to get onto that.
Yeah, that for me was a period of my life where I tried my best to be strong for my family. My wife had cancer for the 3rd time, and I was full-time carer, and it was, you know, she was going through chemo while we were going through COVID, and trying to balance all of that was tough, you know, and
I think,
at that point, it was, I got myself through it, I got my family through it, but then as soon as it stopped, I crumbled. I just, you know, I literally just was a wreck, and I broke, and I never thought I'd come out of being broken. I thought that was it for me. I didn't think I could. God, I feel quite emotional bringing it up.
Yeah,
as you go to that space, and then knowing what I know now, if I could go back and speak to that version of myself from a few years ago, I'd just like to say to myself, it's going to be okay.
Yeah,
because it really is. It really can. Life can change. It can evolve.
Please wasn't in the way. I'll come and give you a hug.
Yeah, no. And you're not going to stay in those dark spaces forever. Especially if you encourage yourself to move somewhere. Encourage yourself to go in a direction or something.
100%. And there's an old saying called "Good things come to those who wait."
Mm-hmm.
That's wrong. Good things come to those who don't wait.
Yes.
So in other words, don't wait, just do it. And like you just said, yes, that was got me a bit going to be.
Yeah, no,
because in the same time, I was in the same space for different reasons. You know, and I'm not going to go down that route too much, but so here we go. So basically, I'm okay now. Life's good. I'm doing a lot of photography. I'm doing headshots. My wife's working. My kids are great. I love my family. Everything's rosy-ish.
Yeah.
You know, and then I met someone in 2018 who said to me about certain stuff that was coming, and I thought, this guy's mad. You conspiracy theorist, blah, blah, blah. And I thought this guy was mad. And then he started telling me stuff, and I really thought he was mad. So I stopped talking to him, really. He was right about so much.
Yeah.
He was right about so much. How he knew it, I never know to this day. But certain things he told me, and I'm not going to delve into that, certain things he told me, because they were happening, I was so fearful. The fear in my body was, I can't tell you how bad it was. It was, even talking about it now, the fear.
Knowing that
the total fear.
Knowing that a conspiracy, something that you would see only in movies.
Well, I'll call him a critical thinker, basically, rather than a conspiracy theorist.
Yeah.
Because
that is kind of like an old term now, isn't it? Conspiracy theories, because those theories have that so many of them have come.
Look at the Simpsons.
So many of them have come true. There was this thing in society where a lot of people could see the world moving in a certain direction.
Yeah.
But then also that spiritual aspect of some people seem to have an intuition that something was coming, that the world was about to
couldn't believe it when this guy was explaining to me. Seriously, and it was where I was doing photography of cars at the time, and he was a valeter.
Right.
This guy, who I knew, his name was John as well. And when, honestly,
so
it was frightening. And because certain things started happening, I got frightened because it was happening. What he was telling me, and I was thinking he was mad. And then I never had the vaccine, right? I'm not going to go down that vaccine route. But to me, and I'm not saying COVID wasn't real, 100% were real. People died of COVID, of course it did. I'm not saying that. But to me, about the other side of it, there were certain things, and I don't want to get too political, there were certain things that didn't sit right with me. There was something in my mind, something's not right about this. Something's not right about the lockdown. Something's not right. There's something not right. And I can't put my finger on it.
We have an intuition.
Yeah, and I'm not a person, you mustn't do this. If people want to, someone called me an anti-vaxxer once. I said, no, I'm not an anti-vaxxer. I'm a freedom of choice person. Whether you want to drink that drink or not drink that drink, whether you want to go on that holiday or don't go on that holiday, whether you want to take that job interview or don't take that job interview, I didn't want the vaccine.
I feel like in that moment there was a test on us for society. How far can we be pushed?
Yeah.
How much will we take? How much 100%. Control can be put on us? And again, very similar to you. I'm not an anti-vaxxer, and I do believe in medicine. I do believe whilst I believe, we talked about the universe and things being woo-woo. I also believe in science.
100%.
Okay, and I'm not a mathematician or a scientist myself, so I can't give factual information on that. But I feel like in that moment, the politicians, the governments of the world had policies that they would like to move us towards in society, and that was their moment for doing it.
Yes, it was. As far as I'm concerned, it's 100% correct. But I'm not going to indulge into that too much. It basically, this is what led into something very serious in my mental health. Be like what you were just saying, around the COVID time. To me, what COVID done, it killed more people than the actual disease did. Suicides, I don't want to get too political, as I said, but suicides, people losing their businesses. There was no reason for lockdown as far as I'm concerned.
No. And the damage that had done to
sit down, take your mask off, stand up, put it on. The air's more dangerous up there, is it?
Yeah. The thing that I'm most angry about is the damage that it's done to children.
Children, yeah.
The damage, and I've got 2 young children that went through school in that period of time, and I am so angry that I myself allowed things to happen.
But you say that. Don't get me wrong. At first, I was. When you say exactly that, I do feel the same because. Yeah, you had to go along with the rules for a certain bit, but there was a point very, very quickly where, do you know what, I said, no way, I'm not doing this stuff anymore. I'm not doing it anymore. But what led to me was because I was so fearful, this was very early stages, honestly, the fear in me was just frightening. Fear is frightening.
Yeah, of course,
I just thought, this is it, because I'm going to be ostracised, which I was. Not having the vaccine. I'm going to be ostracised. I'm going to be sent to Coventry, an old term, sent to Coventry. If people don't know what that is, it's sent to Coventry.
You're banished, basically.
Yeah, they don't want to know you anymore. That's my age, that is. But, certain things that happened to me during that time because I wasn't
following the rules,
you know
and
what?
doing what you were told.
God, it was unbelievable. So I started getting very in my head, and I thought, this is crazy, mate. And I just got so scared, and not indulge into it too much, but a certain thing happened where that flipped me, and I just didn't want to be here anymore. And as much as it's tough for me to say, because as much as I owe it to my family, my children, and my wife to be here, and there's not many people that know this, but I don't mind talking about it now. There's a couple of people that know about this, but the majority of people don't know. And it's tough to say, because the particular night I was driving on the A414 on this particular night, I sat outside St Mary's Church for an hour crying. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? What am I going to do? Because I could see no escape from what was happening around the world. I couldn't see an escape. That's just me. You know, I was probably totally wrong. I don't know. But in my head, that's what my head was telling me.
The conclusion that you
that
come
ego
to.
bloke was
yeah,
at it again, you know?
yeah.
And I just felt, that's it. And I got in my car, I drove on the 414, and I was driving like a lunatic down. And I saw this roundabout. You know, the roundabout with Van Haig's.
Yes.
That roundabout. I was just. And then all of a sudden, I thought, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? And that was good ego. What are you doing? I'll let him do it. You know. And yeah, I slowed down, and I got off the road, and I pulled into this lay-by, and my phone was on the chair. I thought, I've got to ring my mate River. I've got to ring him. And I rang him. And I said, River, I'm in bits, mate. I don't know what's going on. And he went, where are you? And I told him, he said, come to me. Come to me and Kim. And I went and visited them, and mate, they saved my life. And yeah, that's the thing I wanted, if you don't mind me talking about it.
No, it's important.
During lockdown, so I went and sat round the fire, because where they lived, River and Kim, was in Wareside, in the middle of a field, a little cottage. The land they had was unbelievable. He built his own tree house and stuff. It's so spiritual. And they're the nicest people you could want to meet, honestly. And I sat around the fire with them, and I don't know what I'm going to do. I said, John, you know, because I had a massive row with my wife about it, certain things, which I ain't going to go into, but he said, you can't lock your wife in a box. She's got her own choices and stuff. I think you'll gather what happened, and I was worried. And anyway, so they said, come to the Nest on Thursday. I said, what's that? They said, I said, what, in lockdown? You can't do that. He said, we've got a letter from Ware County Council that we're allowed. I said, well, there you go, even more of a mockery. So they're allowing 15 blokes on a Thursday night, to be together because they've got mental health issues.
Right?
So anyway, so the first night I went, I'm driving along, and my bad ego is on my shoulder the whole drive. What are you going there for? What the hell are you doing? Why are you going there? What are you doing? Turn back, go and have a beer. At home, you know. But the good ego's going, oh, go, you know, and all that. I'm like, what am I doing here? Anyway, I turned up, and I went in. And this big bloke said, I'm not going to say his name, but he said, I'm so-and-so. Give me a hug, brother. Called me brother. And he gave me the biggest hug. And you know what? I loved it. And I went in there, and we were all sat around the fire. And I was still thinking, what am I doing here? And then there was a big yurt. And you go into the yurt. And some nights, honestly, you just sit around a table. Little table like this. It's got a wooden handle with a pigeon, with a feather on the end. And if you want to say anything, you pick it up, it's your turn. So it's not one of these places where someone says, right, Martin, tell me about your problems. What's going on there?
You speak when you're ready.
Yes. And I've been in there some nights, and it's just pure silent, and it's all candlelit, and it's just so spiritual, and it's a sanctuary. It's beautiful. And I put it was men's Men's Day the other week.
Okay.
men's mental health day or something.
Right.
And I released an Instagram video about the Nest, and it got so many views. And it was only
I've not heard of this place, the Nest.
it saved my life. Saved my life. And then you go in there. I went every Thursday for about 2 years. Just a bit short of 2 years. Every Thursday without fail. And even when I was feeling better, I went there to support other people. And there were people in there that would say stuff that would make your skin crawl. I'm telling you now, make your skin crawl, mate.
Yeah.
And then I would leave there thinking, oh God, I think I've got problems, right?
Yeah.
And this is why with mental health, and thanks for inviting me on today, because I wanted to put it out there about my journey, where I've been, and if it can help people, then, yeah. With mental health, I'm not saying I was like really screwed, but there was that time when in that car, I think I was that
close.
Yeah, because there's that point. Now I've lost a few people I know to suicide. If there's anyone out there that, is suffering or whatever, and I know we're all different individually, and we've all got our own different stories, and we've all got different ways of life. I mean, some people can't afford food these days, for Christ's sake, So what are they going through? All these people that are struggling with what's going on in the world. And they must be thinking, well, there's nothing, what can I do? And all that, so I get that, And certain people, like me, I was okay because I had a little bit of savings put by and stuff like that. But certain people haven't got that.
Yeah.
So where's the answer? So I would never preach to someone, say, you must do, because I know everyone's got their own individual problems. So with me, I would say, if you're listening to this or watching it, you've got to talk to people. There's an old advert years ago. It's good to talk, and it is good to talk, because if you bottle it up inside, it's just going to destroy you.
Yeah. And so I've got this, it's funny you say about the answer. I've got this theory through doing this that we all already know the answer. That all of us, we know the answer.
Yeah.
It is going back to the ego. It is our ego controlling that answer.
Yeah.
But actually, once we remove that ego and we start to talk and communicate and connect, we then find it.
Yeah.
But we knew it to start with.
Of course.
The answer was in us. We do have it.
It's like, as far as I'm concerned, since the day I was born, I've been lied to a lot.
Yeah.
Right? But only for just sort of recent years found that out, It's like Martin Coleman, right? You're not Martin Coleman at all. It's not who you are. Martin Coleman is just two words that your parents labelled you with. It's not who you are. It's not who you are. It's something to recognise you by. Because I've called you Fred and you was over there, oh, Fred, you want to look round? Martin. You know what I mean? But it's not who you are. It's not your spiritual who you are. So it's just it's just a label.
So for me, I have a space of, I came to similar conclusions that you've got. And my conclusions came from a very spiritual place.
Yeah.
I had a near-death experience I won't go too much into now, but that's where a lot of my conclusions for similar things that you're saying come from.
Yeah.
Now, I wonder for you, where did you start to, we've spoken a lot about spirituality, where did you start to open up with these theories, with these ideas and philosophies in life?
The secret
The secret was an
sowed
unlock.
the seed. So Christine, who was my mentor, if you like, or if you want to call her a shrink or whatever people want to call her, she became a very good friend of mine. And I ended up doing photography work for her.
And she was at Mind, was she?
Yes. And I ended up doing her daughter's birthday party, photography-wise and all that. And, she was great. And she sowed the seed. And then my daughter was into it slightly. And because my daughter, she does Reiki. Boy, is that stuff powerful. Have you ever had a Reiki?
I have had Reiki.
Yes, it's powerful.
Yeah, and
woo!
and
it's so good. And so my daughter's very spiritual, and she's very spiritual. It's quite scary when she's around. I've got to change the subject, if that's right.
Yeah, of course.
Something just quickly.
Yeah.
You can cut this bit out, obviously, when you're ready.
All right, go on then.
But it's my granddaughter used to sleeps around our house in the room, all right? And Kirsty's got this very spiritual connection, my daughter, with my mum, all right? Nanny Cindy. She's got this very special connection with my mum. Like she smells her in her house and stuff like that. And when she comes round my house, I can smell Nan and all this sort of stuff. And anyway, I'll cut this really short. So Ma goes upstairs. She's in her cot. We've got a ring
indoor camera
in there, so we can keep an eye on it. Right. So we've got it. It's in infrared because all the curtains. We've got blackout curtains and everything. All the curtains. This was only a few months back. All the curtains done. Pitch black. So Margot is in infrared. Right.
Yeah.
Sitting there infrared, black and white. There's all these orbs flying everywhere. They're all over the place. Right. I've never seen nothing like it. Kirsty's going, look, Dad, look at that. That's Nan, that is. Yeah. What is that? And they're everywhere on the camera, yeah? And
I've got something to show you later.
Right, thank God my wife and my daughter was sat with me. Because if I'd have told people and they weren't witnesses. So he said, that's Nan, Dad. So I said, right. She said, well, I'm going to go and wake her up now and bring her down. So she goes and wakes her up, brings her down. The door's shut and the room's still dark, yeah? So we're looking through on the camera. And she said, I'm convinced that's Nan. And I said, Kirsty, if you think that's Nan, why don't you say something to her on the phone? Right? So this is gospel truth. I swear. So Kirsty goes, Nan, if that is you, can you give us a sign? Straight away, you hear flick of a light switch, the light comes on. Wow. And all three of us went, oh my God! Oh my God! And my wife went, get out! Right? And I ran upstairs and my wife's going, don't go up there, don't go up there. It's like a comedy sketch. Right? And I ran up there and the door was shut. I opened the door and it's pitch black. And the light switch was off. Now, I also Googled straight away, is it possible to see infrared in colour? And in certain frame rates and certain, it's not. It's only black and white. Yeah. And honestly, that freaked the life out of us. So now I've always been a little bit, but now I've never experienced nothing like that.
Do you get less when you say like that scared the life out of you?
Well, no, it didn't scare me.
But there is kind of like a fear of the unknown, isn't there? And I've had lots of experiences through my life. I saw a lot of ghosts when I was young, and I mean a lot. In between the ages of from about 7 to 15, I was haunted. Yeah, like if I look back on it, and particularly around that kind of age of 7 and 8. There was a moment where we moved from a little village to Harlow. We moved from Faden Boys to Harlow as a family. And in this house that we moved to is when it all started. And it was almost like these spirits were saying to me, as I look back, I kind of take it that they were saying to me, we want to talk to you. We want to communicate something with you. And to the point that there was someone, when I was in the house alone at about 8 years old, there was someone downstairs and was slamming doors and making a lot of noise downstairs that I was so scared I hid in a wardrobe. Another thing, I woke up one night and looked out into the garden. There was children playing in my garden in the middle of the night. Things like that I would see. And I would be scared. And then it kind of stopped when I was about 15. But in recent years, I've seen a few spirits again.
Yeah.
It started when it started when I took my first trip to Edinburgh. I saw 3 ghosts in 1 week in Edinburgh. Now, Edinburgh is a haunted city. But again, it was very much like I got this message of, we want to communicate with you. We want to say something to you. So it was really interesting in your experience that your daughter said to you, say something. Say something to your mum. Talk to her. Yeah.
It's crazy. Honestly. And it was, and like the things you just explained, I've had similar things, not as to that extent. I've had similar things happen to me when I was a kid. Yeah, definitely. I remember a Ouija board thing we did around our house once, and that went a bit tits up, to be fair.
Yeah, so
And it was
I've never
like-
had an experience with that.
Yeah, that was
I've
like,
been,
woo.
yeah, I've heard about bad
Yeah, it
experiences.
was.
with that,
And the lady that, when I say lady, she was about 17 at the time. We was all very young. And my dad was away, and we did this because she used to do it. Her mum did it. The whole family did it, and she came round. And apparently there was a bad spirit in the house. And there was a girl that wouldn't ever say boo to a goose involved, and she had her eyes shut and she spelt a name out on her own. Now that girl would never ever do anything like that. She wasn't that type of girl. Yeah, she spelt this. As soon as she spelt the name out, I went, flipped it up, the glass smashed it. Enough.
Yeah,
I ain't doing that no more. And then the girl who did it. So I'm not sure if I meant to say their names or anything. But
no, we were trying to avoid it.
Yeah, the person who did it, she said, I've got to come back. I went, you're joking. I was, you're going to have to come back before my dad comes back from his holiday. Yeah, she came back and she had to apparently get rid of it. So we went along with it, and all the same people turned up. But yeah, I'll never forget that. It was weird. But yeah, going back to the spiritual thing, I just think, like with River and Kim, who going back to the nest, I just think there's a reason for everything. Do you know, it's got to be more to life than
just
going to Asda's with your shopping.
Yeah, I don't believe
watching your Netflix.
Yeah, I don't believe we're just passing through and we're here to.
Exactly.
I think the status quo will have us believe that we're here to consume.
Yeah,
and that's what we're here to do.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
if I am 100% convinced we're all here for a higher purpose.
Yeah,
some of us never discover what that higher purpose is, but there is something more going on that we are destined.
It's
for.
like you said to me when I first met you today. You said something to me about what I'm doing with my podcast and how I started out, and it's a learning curve for all of us, isn't it? And
yes, yeah.
and that's sort of what you was destined to do, and it's like me with my photography. If you'd have said to me 20 years ago, oh, you'll be working for yourself, you'll be doing videos. I mean, I love my work at the minute. I mean, I do a lot of work for KD Theatre Productions at the Harlow Playhouse. I love the Harlow Playhouse. KD are great. I'm working in Kettering on Friday, filming one of their pantos. And I get to do all the panto stuff, all the filming. I get to meet because I know all the characters, all the people, and the staff. And it's just, I love what I do now. And I never thought I'd get to that.
Yeah.
Whereas when I used to work for Sony, I used to don't get me wrong, I did like my job. But it was a job.
Yeah. I used to work for Comet.
Job.
I used to work at Comet, which is quite similar.
Did you?
And I used to enjoy that as well. There was an element of it I enjoyed that I thought, when I look back, I thought I liked the technology side of it, because I do like technology. I like all the gadgets and things, and the new TVs when they came into the shop, or the new camera. It'd be like, oh, I get to play with this. But actually, that wasn't what I enjoyed, and that wasn't what I was there for. The bit that I enjoyed was actually talking to people.
Yeah,
was that people, when they'd walk through the door and they'd be looking for a new TV, but then you'd spend the next 15 minutes to an hour having a conversation with them and discovering who they were. You know, that
100%.
was actually the bit that I went to work for. But I never realised it until 20 years later when I'm doing this. And I'm like, wow, look at that experience that I got from that job.
Yeah, it's
and
like
look how that's fed into what I'm doing now.
Because I've followed you quite a bit, and you know, with your podcast, and everything, you can tell straight away that I'm quite a good judge of characters, and that. You can tell straight away you're a people's person, straight off.
But I'd have never admitted that 2 or 3 years ago, prior to this.
Yeah, strange.
I'd have said, nah.
It's always been in there, though. That's your ego.
Yeah, that's the ego. Yeah, that's the ego saying that. I'd have said, no, I'm too shy for that.
Yeah,
I don't talk to people. I don't.
It's right. It's like me. I'm such a people's person. I mean, used to be the life and soul of the party, and you know, and one thing that happened to me. This is something that I've inspired people with as well. Can I touch on this?
Of course you can.
Yeah. So I know I'm going off the.
No, this is what this is. This is
right, but
this is what life isn't a straight line, is it? Life is spirals.
So going back to my thing that everything happens for a reason, yeah. So picture the scene. It was the 17th of June, 2021, baking hot day. My daughter is getting married on the 17th. She's getting married, so it was the 16th of June. Yeah,
Right, yeah.
she's getting married. So we go round to my future son-in-law's house, and my daughter is at the venue sleeping overnight, and I'm going to walk my daughter down the aisle the next day. I can't wait. Unfortunately, because of this COVID thing, we was only allowed 30 people, which turned out to be good in the end because you got to chat to everyone, and it was really good actually. However, the night before, my life changed. And I used to do a lot of dancing when I was a kid. People are going to laugh at this that know me. People who don't know me won't care.
Yeah.
But when I was a youngster, I used to do a lot of dancing. I used to go in competitions with my mate Wally. Yeah? Two of us. Always dance. So that night, it started raining. We was all outside having a beer because it's a little stag do, you know. Yeah. Raining, so we go inside, play some cards because it starts raining. So we go inside. Let's put some music on, yeah. And they put D-Train on, You're the One for Me. Don't know if you know that track.
No, I don't know. I can't.
Very famous track.
Probably if I heard it, or if you're going to sing it for me.
Where it goes. Anyway, that's probably nothing like it, right? Anyway, it's a D-Train, and I thought, mate, and I've had a beer now. Yeah. I've got my shades on, I've got my shorts on, it's bacon.
Yeah.
So my son goes, go on, Dad, get out. And so, of course, I'm gone for it, and they're filming it. And I'm and I'm dancing, yeah. Got all this on film. And then my life changed. And you heard a bottle smash, literally. And I stopped, and I fell to the ground. And they're all going, oh, look, he's faking an injury. Yeah. They're all taking the mickey out of me. He's faking an injury. Yeah. I said, no, something serious here. And I didn't know what it was, but I just couldn't walk. My foot was like that. It was just flapping. So my son's still taking the mickey out of me. Oh, shut up, you'll be all right. And I said, no, serious, there's something wrong. And so my son said, Dad, you need to go to the hospital. I said, no, I can't. We've got a wedding tomorrow. I've got to walk Kirsty down the aisle.
Yeah.
Right? I said, nothing's stopping me doing that. I can't go to the hospital. I said, I know it's something serious, but I can't. So he said, all right. So I went home that night, and I went to the wedding, went round my son-in-law's house in the morning. I actually, this was so bad, I actually drove my son, the best man, me and the groom to the venue. Drove. How I done it, I don't know, but I drove there.
Right.
They just think I've sprained my foot.
Yeah. So what had happened to you then?
Right. So on the day, I've gone through the wedding and everything. And I even managed to do what I could of a dad and daughter dance. Right. Great day anyway. So I goes to the hospital the next morning. Doctor says, yeah, come in. I go into his room. He said, right, what have you done? I told him what I did. He said, right, lay on your front. He said, face down. And I'm going to do something called a Thompson's test on you. So I'm thinking, what's that? He said, no, all I'm going to do is just squeeze your calf. If your foot moves like that, you're okay. If it doesn't, it's not good. I said, what are you talking about? A rupture? He said, yeah. Oh, no, mate. There's a rupture. Might as well, you'd be better off breaking both legs. Trust me. I was like, no, please, no. I'm trying the secret methods. I'm trying to visualise it's not a rupture. He squeezed my calf. He said, I'm really sorry. It's bad news. I was just bawled into tears because I know a friend of mine who had it. Oh, it's shocking. So I had loads of work lined up. I had weddings. In 4 phone calls, I think I lost about $6,000.
Wow.
So I was in a bad way. I was crying my eyes out to my wife on the phone at the hospital. She was going to come and pick me up. So what they did, they put me in plaster. They shouldn't have put me in plaster though, because with an Achilles rupture, I don't know, just for people out there that don't know, with an Achilles rupture, as soon as you've done that rupture, your foot must be put in a boot with what they call I forget what they're called, but they're like that high facing down. So your foot is in a boot facing like that.
Right.
Yeah, not like that, because if you're like that, you're pulling away from the tendon. If you're like that, it's more connected. So I had to go back 4 days later after my plaster, and this doctor went mad. Who put a plaster on? He went mad.
Yeah,
He actually went mad. I said, what have they done it? There's no way you should have whoever put you in plaster. So obviously someone got told off. So they put me in a boot, and I was in it for ages, and yeah, it was horrific injury. Still not right now. But here's the positive side. Lost all that work, yeah? Lost everything. And then I started thinking, oh no, do you know what? I controlled my head. Because of the nest, because of the secret, because of all the past things that happened in my life, I could control it.
Yeah.
How bizarre is this? So I controlled it to the extent I'm going to do something. Instead of sitting here whinging, I'm going to do a Martin Coleman. And I'm going to, seriously, very similar thing. And I'm going to help people with this. So do you know what I did? I did something like 47 videos. Week 1, week 2, Achilles road to recovery. Achilles tendon rupture, road to recovery, episode 1, episode 2.
Yeah.
Or week 3, week 4, right? And I joined a Facebook group called Achilles Tendon Rupture. There was people from everywhere. The Philippines, Australia, Canada, China, America, Ireland, Wales, you name it. People from all over the world, yeah. I started putting these videos on there. The inspiration that people were getting from these videos was honestly through me. When's the next one coming out? You inspire me, because I'm so scared I'm never going to be able to walk again, and all, old people and blah, 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 yeah. And I just did it and did it and did it and did it and did it. So eventually I made a film called Milestone, and I got everyone to send me videos of their milestone moment when they walked again. And I put a film together. The only annoying thing with that, I had to put it in like a lottery wheel to pull. I could only pull so many videos out. I was sent hundreds of videos.
Wow.
So many videos. It was
where everyone wanted to connect with you. Everyone found...
I was sent over 300 videos. I couldn't put 300 videos on a little 2-minute film, could I?
So that says to me that, whilst you had a certain path in life that you were going to take that was going to make you money, $6,000, and that was where you thought you were going, actually this was more important.
Yeah.
What came from this?
It was weird.
The inspiration that you gave to others that were going through a hard time, the connection that you were building. And it sounds as well like there was something more there for you than that $6,000.
Yeah, I got a lot of joy out of it, because, and making the videos, a bit like yourself, what you do, was great, because I love it. In my office, I've got the old microphones and everything, and some of the early episodes were poor, but it's just, but they get better as they go along. But I just got so much play. And a couple of people I really connected with, one woman rang me one day. Do you mind if I get your number? So I'd like to talk to you, because I've only just done this injury. I was on the phone to her for ages. And because you think there is a fear that you're never going to walk again, because it's an injury where you have to put dedication in. Whereas a broken leg is going to repair.
It kind of repairs on it. The bone repairs on itself. You just got to wait. It's a waiting thing. Whereas this sounds like it's something that you have to work through.
100%. And I think what you just said, where I was decided to do it, what gave me the inspiration to do it, I could either sit on my settee for 6 months. And watch Game of Thrones, right? Or do something that's quite like a hobby, interesting to me. And that's what I decided to do, and it paid off. And it really did pay off. I've even got a really good video that went out about my scan that I had, and to show that it was healing and stuff like that. It was cool. But I was asked about having the operation, and because I don't do ops unless it's critically, unless it's...
It has to.
Yeah, right. And he said, well, because of your age, because I'm an old git now, because of your age, you can have the op, he said, but... And he actually said to me, do you know a footballer called Santi Cazorla? And I said, I'm an Arsenal supporter. I said, yes, I do know Santi Cazorla. I said, "You're going to talk about his?" And he said, "Yes." So he had an Achilles rupture, and he had 14 operations in 15 months. Nearly like he actually had to take his tattoo of his children off his arm because he kept getting infections. And this is the doctor said this to me, and he actually had a Liverpool thing in his room. Liverpool.
Yes, yeah.
So he'd obviously liked football, and that's how he mentioned it. And I said, yeah, I've heard of him. And I said, so yeah, I'm not going to have the op then. And he went, that's fine. He said, we'll go to what they call the conservative route. Wedges, that's what them things were called, wedges.
Right.
And that's what it was. And yeah, so as I say, not the same, but the good things of. Are we okay for time?
We're great for time.
All right.
Yeah.
The good things that come out of it, for me personally, were things like my dedication to my work, my clients, my mindset totally changed. I don't care about anything anymore. I don't care. I do care about.
You do care.
I do care about.
You do care, but the fear, the worry, and the anxiety,
yes.
You've managed to
Control.
You've managed to control it.
Yeah.
So what if someone's listening into this and saying, yeah, but that control, that anxiety, that fear is overwhelming. I'm never going to come out of this. We're two people that have gone through it and come out the other side. And like you say, it's not always perfect. We still have wobbles. What would you say to them? What advice would you give to them to help move them out of that place?
The first bit of advice I would say is buy the secret. Whether you buy into it or not, throw it in the bin if you don't want it, but at least try it. Buy something like that. I think
having like a philosophy, like a guidance
in
life, kind of helps you move forward.
Sort of kickstart.
So was there something in The Secret that really resonated with you?
Yeah, because there was lots of stuff like certain things that happened to me in the past, but the things that really got to me and made me was the manifestation. That's that. This.
And then when you tried the manifestation,
this stuff
and
works.
you saw it working,
yeah,
that was when you went, oh wow, this is this is real.
Well, it is, and I fell out with someone who was struggling a little bit. I'll never forget this. He was struggling a little bit, and I started talking to him about The Secret. And then he avoided me. We've never spoke since.
Right.
This was 10 years ago. We haven't spoken since. I think he's moved away now. And we used to talk a lot. And I was trying to help him because he thought what I was talking about The Secret, he thought I was nuts.
Yeah.
So because he's been programmed by the system to think in a certain way, which a lot of people have, whereas I would call myself I'd call you a critical thinker as well.
I hope so.
Yeah. So a critical thinker will question things and try things. So I'd say going back to the advice, buy The Secret, read it, buy into it. There's even a documentary on Netflix called The Secret. Watch it, buy into that. Try, things happen for a reason. Talk to people without a doubt. Even if it is someone like Mind I know some of these places charge, but there's a lot of places that don't charge. There is help out there. If you want to talk to me and Martin, talk to us.
Yes,
Me and you have experienced, so talk to us. There's always help at hand, I think, and the worst thing is keeping it inside. And if you're local, go to the Nest, because the Nest is a great place. It really is. And with the Nest, they had to shut down for quite a while because they lost their home and stuff, for reasons I won't go into. But now the Nest is based at, believe it or not, a Bishop Stortford Polo Club.
Okay.
And they actually live on the land there. The owner of the polo club lets them live there, lets them do the Nest there. And they now do a Nest on a Wednesday for ladies and a Thursday for men.
Amazing.
Yeah, so I think getting back to your original question about what I would advise, it's probably everything you would advise as well. It's talking. Because at the end of the day, if you sit in a room and talk to yourself, yourself's not gonna. And the other thing is one other thing I'll say: love yourself, because this was in a show. I was working at the Harlow Playhouse doing some photography for a dance show, this was a few years back. I think it was before COVID, actually. Anyway, there was this girl who was going on tour. She was young, but she was really nervous. And she says, I'm having a few problems, blah, 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 and all that. And then she says, I'd hate my photo being taken. And I said to her, love yourself. And I looked her in the eye and I said, I know I'm going over the top a bit, but I looked her in the eye and I said to her, I love me. I love everything about me. I love the way I eat. I love the way I have a shower. I love the way I watch telly. I love everything about me there is to love. Because if you can't love yourself, then what's the point? Yeah? And I said, and you need to be confident, blah, blah, blah. I go and do this. And I said, I was waffling a bit as I am now. But, you know, and anyway, down the road a few years later, I ended up doing her headshots. She's an actress. Yeah. And when I met her for the second time, she was, hey. And she was, always remember that little chat you had with me? You know, and I think a lot of the people, they feel sorry for themselves and they can't see a way of getting out of this thing, you know.
Someone said to me once that love is the most powerful force in the universe. And I'm a strong believer of that.
Yeah, 100%. You know? People, this is what The Secret talk about, yeah? There's a poem that's read out before the nest, sorry. I said The Secret. There's a poem that's read out in the nest before every session. It's not a session, really, before you sit there and
do what you sit there and have the conversation.
Right? And in that it's people, the one thing people are missing in their life is love. And that's as simple as that. Love. Love is, I totally agree with that statement, 100%.
The Beatles said it, didn't they? All you need is love.
Yeah, it is. It's like, a few of the jobs, I mean, when going back to what I do for my work, you know, the people I work for, you've heard of hip hop, you've done interviews with
hip hop. Have been on it recently.
I love working for them guys. They're great. Jenny, I love her. She's fantastic. The show they did last year called Shadows, I did the photography for it. It blew me away. That's as good as any show you'll see in the West End. I'm telling you now, it was fantastic. The Playhouse, love working for them. You know, Harlow Ballet, I'm doing a project with them at the moment, doing their posters and stuff like that. So, and everyone is lovely, you know, and they're really nice people. And through Harlow Ballet, the lady that works there, I ended up doing a video in filming for Harlow Pride recently. And that was an amazing event. Yeah. You know, it was a great event. And it was, honestly, and there are certain, you know, I think hate is a strong word. We're talking about love, but the opposite to that is hate, or whatever you want to call it. Yeah. I don't think I hate anyone. Dislike, maybe. But going back to my bellend list, if they're on there, I don't hate them, because I still say hello to them, because I'm not the type of person who will send someone to Coventry. I never have been, never will be. Now, regardless of what you do to me, I'll still have the time to say hello. But if you're not on my good side of the list, I'll just keep my distance.
Yes. Again, the list is for you. The list was protecting you. It wasn't to incite hate for them. It was to protect you. Yeah, that's perfect. It sounds perfectly reasonable.
I don't hate anyone. You know, it's like there's always people out there, especially in today's world, that's got opinions about this, opinions about that. And I used to be, before, if I went back 20 years, I'd call myself quite a judgmental person on certain issues. I think we're all quite judgmental in certain ways, but now I think when I say I don't care, I'm like, I hate the old saying, it is what it is, you know, but it is what it is, and you just got to get on with it.
Yeah, and I think the it is what it is kind of phrase and feeling is going back to that. Everything has a purpose. It feels okay when things aren't working out, because you've seen in your life that things eventually do work out. You just not know it at the time.
Yeah.
You know, that experience that you had where you lost work because of your Achilles, and you had to take a different direction, but that different direction was more important.
Yeah.
So yeah, when things aren't going quite right, or the balance in the world isn't feeling right for you, then that's okay, because it will be.
Yeah, I agree with that. I do agree with that now. And it's like the thing with the Achilles injury, it was just soon after, not long after, I had my do that. But I had my bad wobble when I met River and when I thought I was going to end it.
Mm-hmm. So at this point of the conversation, I like to do this thing where we go time traveling.
Yeah.
And so if we was to time travel right now, I would like to take you back to that moment where you're in the car and you're driving recklessly. And if we could sit you in the car and I sit in the back seat, what would you say to yourself?
What, I was in the back seat with you?
Yeah.
What now? What
Well, we're in the car, you're driving.
What would I say now?
Yeah, you got a moment to do something.
Well, I haven't sworn on this podcast once. And I'm not going to either. So
we can beep it.
Yeah, no, I would. What are you doing? Stop the car. What are you doing? You know, and a lot louder than that as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's nothing to be proud of. And the reason I'd really be angry at myself and have a go, I'd actually turn around to you and say, "What are you doing in here?"
I'll come for the journey. I'm here for the journey.
Thumbing a lift, was you? But yeah, you know, the reason now is like because then, yeah, I was in that dark place, and boy, was I in a dark place. Even thinking about it now, you know, the light wasn't on at all.
Mm.
And going to the nest, I felt safe. But yeah, that what you just asked me in the car, I would have proper gone on myself because, and not in an easy manner. I'm being honest with you.
No, that's
because you could say, yeah, but that wouldn't help matters if you're shouting and that. But because it's me and me, it's different. You know, I'm not doing it to you. You're the one driving. It's me driving. I'm talking to myself. So yeah, I'd proper, you know, not be happy with myself.
At the same time, do you think there would be that space for love for yourself?
Yes, 100%. Yeah, 100%. Because yeah, life's too short, mate. Bottom line is, when it comes down to it, we're all going at one point. As simple as that. And that's the death and taxes, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's the thing you cannot avoid. Remember, Joe Black said that in the film. But yeah, it's one thing you can't avoid, and you know, I think you just got to live life to the full. And I know it's not easy in today's way of life, especially with what's going on, and people can't afford this, as we've touched on earlier. But yeah, if you can, you've got to talk. You've got to try and be happy. And the biggest, not that I do this all the time, is wake up tomorrow morning, and tomorrow morning is the first day of the rest of your new life. What you do with it is down to you. So go and enjoy. Right? Because everything past, like me turning up here this morning, that's gone.
Mm-hmm.
History. There's nothing I can do to go back in time to bring that back. It's gone. It's history. Done. Dusted. You can never, ever get that time back. When I leave this room, that's gone. Yeah, the memory I'll have of it is like watching it back or listening to it back. Yeah. But that moment is finished. So what's the point of harping on it? Right? So one thing, and someone told me that, what I just said to you, that sort of phrase, if you like, and wake up in the morning, it's the start of your new life. First day of your new life, as if you're brand new born, but you're born into an adult or whatever. First day. Go and enjoy it. Yeah. It's simple as that, isn't it? Go and enjoy it and do what you want to do.
Mm.
You know, going back to the money side of it, because money is what makes the world go around. But even if you're struggling, there's other ways of trying to enjoy what you have got. Mm-hmm. Do you agree?
That's 100%.
Yeah, and it's, I think,
the money thing can be hard. The money thing can be, because like you say, money is like this force over this world. Yeah. That's there's a lot of control with money, and so the money thing can often pull us down and take us in the wrong directions. But life isn't about money. You don't take money to the grave with you. That's for sure. You don't, and you know, I always think back to the old Egyptian religion that they believed that when you die, your heart was placed on a scale,
Yeah.
and it was balanced with a feather.
Yes.
Do you know this?
Yes,
That when you die, and that's your level of judgment.
Yeah.
There's no part of finances that go with you into that afterlife. It is literally your heart. And to me that, and the feather, and to me that is more about the feelings that we experience along the way. Yeah. So we're giving too much weight to the money in this life, I think.
Yes. Yeah. And who's to blame for that? The system. Mm-hmm. The system's to blame for everything. It really is. And, you know, honestly, I believe that. Mm-hmm. I do believe that. And I'll stay away from the news and everything. I don't watch nothing now. I'm not interested.
Like I was saying to you before we started this conversation, I contribute a lot to social media. I put a lot in there, but I try not to consume it.
Yes, I'm a bit of the opposite. I'm terrible for Facebook.
No, because it's addictive.
Yeah, it's like when going back to, I don't know if you've seen my video when I did the kids' Christmas shoots.
No, I will check it out there.
So I've got in the car, I've got me Osmo camera.
Yeah,
it's beginning to look like Christmas. So I'm singing everywhere you go and all that lot, and then I go straight into a setup of setting my backdrop up, all speeded up, and I've got the kids running around. It's quite a good video.
Yeah,
and I've actually filled all my bookings through that video.
Amazing,
right?
Yeah,
so it works.
No, and
but the comment I got from someone, Joe, you look such an idiot on there singing at the beginning. I said, I don't care. I don't care.
Yeah.
I used to care years ago, but now I talk to my good ego now. I don't care. I don't care if it offends. Well, I do care if it offends. I don't want to offend anyone. I don't care if people don't like it.
Yeah.
Well, that's the same as offending them. I don't know. But.
No, it's not for them if they don't like it. That's how I see that. That's how I see these podcasts.
Yeah.
When you put out 400 plus podcasts, you're going to get some bad comments.
Oh, sure, yeah.
And when them bad comments came in the early days, they felt very, they felt very weighted. They felt like they had a lot of power. But the more I ignored them, and I started to actually notice there's more good comments. And the more good comments were actually happening in the real world, not on the social media platform. Yeah. The people that I was meeting, and the continuation of this was proving that negativity didn't actually have any power at all. There was nothing in it.
No.
That was just someone releasing something in them that wasn't right for this.
You've just reminded me, because I went to Fuerteventura in June and I did a whole holiday vlog. One of the best things, I was really pleased with it, how I put it together and everything, even from getting on the plane and saying hello to the stewardess and all that lot. And it just went through, and I thought, right, because I've got a YouTube channel called Brugh's Fun and Good Vibes, if anyone wants to know.
We'll make sure we tag it.
But all it is, to be fair, and with my YouTube channel, it's, as I say, Brugh's Fun and Good Vibes, and that's what it's about. There's no negativity on there. It's just about fun. I started it in lockdown. It's just about a bit of fun, having a laugh. Some real stupid stuff on there. And I've got hardly any followers. I'm not monetized. I don't want to be monetized. I don't care. I just do it for a bit of fun. That's all I do it for.
Yeah.
Right. Anyway, I put this holiday video together. It's taken off. I think I've got about 10,000 views. I've got 6,000 views in 3 weeks. Right. It's even overtaken some big YouTubers who do holiday filming stuff. I couldn't believe it. It's gone mental. There's loads of comments on there, and every comment is brilliant. Oh, love, where do you love this? Where do you go to? And there's a bar out there called the Rock Cafe, Rock Island Bar, which is amazing. And it's just a little snug bar, and the guitarists in there are just incredible. And I was putting it, and then there's a couple of bad comments, like what you just said. And one of them was, Stop bringing people to our island. We've got enough Brits over here as it is. And she's a Brit, this woman, who's, you could tell by the way she spoke. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
What's all that about? And then I had another bad comment, and I deleted them.
Yeah.
And people might say we shouldn't delete them because they're entitled to their opinion. Yeah, they are entitled to their opinion if it's a good one.
And you don't want the you don't want the negative. You've learned at this point in your life you don't need the negativity. You don't need it. It doesn't hold any value for you. And
exactly.
So I was deleting negative comments in the beginning of this, and I don't delete them now
Right,
unless they're derogatory, unless they're being outwardly nasty towards my guest in particular, then I'll delete them. But now I just ignore them. They're nothing, and they actually, they might be contributing to the algorithm so that the right people can see it and experience it. Because that is part of the game of social media that we're playing. That if we are engaging with that, it's using the tools in the right way.
Yeah, definitely.
And though that engagement does help.
I just think it is a shame, because if everyone come together, I know it's never going to happen.
Why?
Well, because you've got football for a start. Look at the rivalry and that, and it's like life and death. You know? It's. I don't think in a perfect situation, if everyone come together, then there wouldn't be any wars or anything like that.
No, and life would be
comments.
Would life be boring if we were? I'm a big believer in yin and yang.
Fun.
I'm a big believer in yin and yang, that there's two sides. We talked about love and hate.
Yeah.
That there is a balance between the two, and there's these two sides. I think sometimes the balance goes one way, a bit too heavy. I think we've had that during COVID, recent years. That hatred got bigger and bigger and bigger. Yeah. But there's time for that love to get bigger as well.
Yeah, I mean, during the COVID times, there were certain things that I wanted to put on Facebook where I saw comments and I thought, I can't. I know I cannot put it on there because I'll be attacked, like you wouldn't believe.
Yes,
attacked. But why is it not right for someone like me that couldn't put anything on there, but it's okay for them, and all that type of thing? And I just think, and you're always going to have people like with negative comments on your Facebooks and your podcasts and your whatever. You're never going to get. It's always going to be there. You've only got to look at, if you talk about politicians or whatever, that I'm not really into, to be fair. But if you talk about, they're always going to be, all right, he's not, he's all right, and you're always going to get that. The Brexit stuff, all that lot. I just think if everyone, I just wish it could happen. And what you said earlier, I don't think it'd be a boring world at all. At least we'd have some fun.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It'd be invited to everyone's parties. But it's a shame. But, even on this podcast, if you get any negative comments on that, that's what it is. It's just if people disagree with what I've said, that's their freedom of choice and freedom of speech. And I do respect people's opinions about everything. There's one thing with me, and this is gospel, 100%. If I don't agree with what someone says, let's say I'm in a pub, for example, and I'm talking to someone, and I don't agree with what someone says, before I shut them down, I will listen to them. Because during that conversation of them explaining their reason for what they're saying, I'll make my own judgment, and I might say to myself, oh, actually, he's got a point. I'll look into that. Yeah? And I'll listen. And then I might say to him, well, actually, I disagree, but I hear you out and I respect your opinion. There's one thing I would never, ever do is go, shut up, you so-and-so, you're talking. I would never do that.
Well, because that's the ego. That would be your ego that's trying to take some form of control and thinking that you know everything, that you're right.
Yeah, I'd never do that. But I get people, I say certain stuff about certain things. Shut up. Like my nickname's Broughy. Shut up, bruv. You don't know what you're talking about. And they just walk off. They don't even listen to what I haven't put 3 words together yet.
Yeah.
And you've judged me like that. And unfortunately you're going to get that across the plane. There's nothing. I don't think there's any rescue in that. Do you?
No. I think I have this sense that people don't want to be educated. People don't want to be told. And I think that's fair, and that goes back to that freedom thing. I think that we have that space for us to discover things for ourselves. But there is a wide portion of society that are very closed off, that are very much, this is the way that I think and feel, so I am right. And I'd like to think that there is an opportunity for some of them to open up, but some of them are too closed. And those ones that are too closed, I don't know what we can do to help them.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
What do you think makes people so closed then? We've talked about us being quite open.
Fear. People would rather be they'd rather be involved. They care more about their football matches, their Netflix series, their pint down the pub, their game of snooker, whatever you want to call it.
Hence why politicians
rather
use
than they
it.
are the futures of their children.
politicians and some religious leaders use
It's all
that.
distraction, mate.
Yeah, fear in order to control, and ultimately keep hold of their power.
Yeah. You've seen The Matrix, right?
It's so fun. Do you know? This is so funny. You bring this up. I was literally just thinking about The Matrix and about a previous guest that had been on this podcast.
We think
And
alike.
and she was telling me how her purpose in life is to unplug people from the Matrix. She feels that is her purpose, and that's what she does, and she does that through love.
Yeah.
That is her key to helping those people that have those barriers, that have those blocks, that are like, no, this is the way that I see life, and there is nothing else to it, and I'm not going to listen to you. I'm not going to be open. She opens them up with love.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, I am open to anything. When I say I'm open to anything, I'm open to listening.
Mm-hmm.
I'll listen to anyone.
Yeah.
And like what we're saying there, and that sounds good or whatever. Mm-hmm. I'd never just block off. I've always been quite open-minded in that way. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I just think it's quite awkward when you want to talk to people and help them. It's like I was talking to a friend of mine the other day about the Matrix, and he thinks a lot like me. Some of the stuff you've said, he thinks along your wavelengths as well. Mm-hmm. And he turned around to me and said, "John, red pill or blue pill?" I say, "Truth all day long, mate." He said, "Even if it hurts?" I said, "Yeah, without a doubt. Red pill all day long." He said, "Yeah, I wouldn't know." I said, and that's the problem. People would rather have the blue pill, rather have their just lives that they've got, their football, their films, their Netflix, the beer, the parties, the New Year's. These silly programs on telly when they go wild about, like the Masked Singer and all that. Yeah, yeah. I mean, the Masked Singer, it's good fun.
It's entertaining.
It's good fun.
Bit of entertainment, yeah.
It's good fun.
But
they're obsessed with it.
I think that's where we come into the distraction.
Yeah, it's all distraction.
It's
all distraction to what's reality. And I know we're getting a bit deep, but I strongly believe that we're all programmed. Well, I don't think I am as much as I used to be, but as I say, when I said earlier in this podcast, I felt I've been lied to all my life. Yeah, and I think I have been. It's just, there's a thing over there you've got in your room here called Tell Lie Vision. Break it down, yeah. Yes. It's the worst thing. It's why do you think they're called programs? Yeah, because they program everyone. What the media wants you to. That's what the whole thing, the whole lot. Your schools, your education, your everything. It's all where they want us. They've got us where they want us, basically. And that's where I think a lot of this, what we just said, where people shut you down because no, you're talking something that's not real, or you're talking something that it's not been on the news, or well, BBC disagree with that, or whatever. Do you get what I'm saying?
100%.
So I can't put my finger on what I'm trying to say.
But we're at this point as well in history, I think, where we're at a pivot moment that we're being shown, and we're becoming more and more aware of these lies that we've been told. We've seen recently with the BBC how they manipulate things. It's become very, very clear that they manipulate this. So you say you avoid the news. I don't know if you know about the Trump documentary that they put out, that they manipulated the narrative on that. Now, whether you agree with Trump or not, the BBC is not supposed to be an institution that does that. It's supposed to be an institution that is neutral, that tells a factual story.
Yeah, so again, I'm not really politically minded. So anyone's listening to this, don't ever go at me, please. But the reason, this is just my take on it.
Your interpretation, which is fine.
The reason people hate things is because you're told to hate them. The reason people hate Trump is because you're programmed by the media to hate him. The reason why people hate other things is because you're programmed to hate him. It's all in the news. It's all to me, if an establishment doesn't like someone, they'll do everything in their power for the public to hate this figure, whoever it is, whether it's an actor,
There's a group in our society that has a huge control over the narrative.
Yeah, yeah.
And we're soaking it up. We're soaking up that narrative.
Yeah. I mean, everyone knows, for all the people that know me, oh, here he comes again. What conspiracy are you going to come up with now? But it's not a case of that. It's about being critical in your thinking.
Critical thinking and being open and aware.
Question thing. To me, anyone in 2025, stroke 2026 now, anyone who doesn't question stuff going on, I don't get it. I don't understand it. But that's me.
Yes, yeah.
But I also get the person like a friend of mine who says, I can't be asked. I'm just happy doing what I'm doing, which is fair enough. Yeah. Sometimes I wish I was like that.
I think so for me, I think I got to a point in life where I made a decision. Am I a consumer or am I a contributor? And I think that helped me in this area. Which one am I? Am I going to just soak all this stuff up? Am I going to take what I'm seeing on social media every day? Am I going to go along with the narrative of the world and just earn money and pay bills? Or am I going to contribute something to make a change in some way and take all this information that we're seeing, this almost information overload that we're getting, and do something with it? And I believe that that's why podcasts have become so popular, because I think podcasts are changing the narrative a bit.
Yeah, I agree.
I think podcasts where we're having these conversations that are not scripted, not manipulated, and we're sitting down as people exploring things openly and sharing that with the world, we can change the direction of some of this stuff that we're talking about.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, if anyone gets some good stuff out of what spoke about mental health, and then we've done our job right.
Yeah.
Or and done something right.
And you've found yourself how valuable that is to share and connect.
It is. Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you. So it all came from the video I did for the Nest a few weeks ago. Yeah. And it made me think that, and I've got a couple of people I know that I would call associates. No, I'd call them friends. Definitely call them friends. Yeah. But they're not my closest friends, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're struggling. And if they listen to this, they know who they are. And I've said to them, come along. And hopefully they're going to come along to the Nest. I'll even drive them up there.
Good. So where do we? This has been an amazing conversation, John, as we wrap this up. But I'd like to know how we find out more information about the Nest. Yeah. Because we've spoken about the Nest a lot. So if anyone's listening to this and they're like, yeah, I see the value in that connection and speaking and giving things a try, being open, where do they find out about the Nest?
Right, so you can go on Facebook. I've got a Facebook page, The Nest. It's on there. Instagram as well. The guy that runs it is called River, and the lady that runs it is called Kim. But yeah, you can always get through me or email me.
And how do we find you?
So you can find me at john@apheadshotphotography.co.uk. That's my business. But yeah, you feel free to email me. I'll be very happy to give you the information. Not a problem. But you can go on Facebook and look it up, and you can message them on there.
The Nest.
Yeah, the Nest. Yeah,
wonderful.
It's absolutely fantastic.
Last question for you then, John. So the future. What do your hopes and dreams look like?
My hopes and dreams. To just keep to be as healthy as I can, obviously. Yeah, I do enjoy a bit of alcohols now and again, so I need to cut that down a bit.
Okay.
I need to eat a little bit healthier, get some more exercise in in them terms. But in terms of what I'm doing work wise, just keep pushing on with what I'm doing. Because of my age, I don't want to be rammed out with work. But, even things like you, if you ever need a hand with stuff, I'd like to get involved in that sort of stuff, you know, because I think it's word of mouth. And the amount of people that I've just been around a customer's house to deliver their wedding album, for example.
Yes. Yeah.
And I did a podcast. So I put my phone on the table and I said, do you mind if we do a podcast of your reaction? And I said, no, that's fine. And she said, I'll be a bit conscious that it's on though, because it won't be a natural reaction. So I said, no, it'll be fine because you'll forget about it. And they did forget about it.
Yeah.
And the reaction I got, it was incredible, you know, and I get a lot of joy out of that. So I want more of that. I just want my granddaughters to be safe and well, and and I want everyone to be happy, basically. You know, and as I say, I'm a bit of a miserable sod sometimes. But yeah, the future, I just think as long as everyone's happy and not struggling and just a safe world, that's the future I would like. Safe world, you know, because at the minute it's not really safe.
It's a nice outlook to have, to move this world into. I also wanted to ask you about The Secret. Anything you're asking for from The Secret right now?
Yeah, there is. Yeah, there is. Yeah, it's not so much money. It's basically I just want to be healthy, comfortable, and happy. So it's not a particular thing I want. Oh, there is one thing I forgot to tell you. Yeah, there is one thing. That's all. I've always called for it. Unfortunately, it hasn't happened yet.
Okay.
I want my own snooker table, full size. So for that, I need to win some money or something so I can buy a new house. And
is money the way? Is money the only way that will happen?
Well, in today's world, probably yes, as we were speaking earlier. Unless I can manifest and work a little bit harder. But yeah, that's one of my dreams. I've always wanted my own snooker room. I know it's not a major important thing.
No, it can be to you.
Yeah, but I've tried to envisage it and me.
If that's something you love and that's something you strive for.
Yeah, that's something I've always wanted. But yeah, I think, you know, at the end of the day, I just want a peaceful world and everyone to be happy, basically, you know, especially me and my family.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for sharing, John. I truly appreciate it.
I'll tell you what, I've really, really enjoyed coming. I was very nervous at first, but I've enjoyed every minute of it.
No, it's wonderful to share like this, isn't it? And have these conversations and connect. We didn't know each other before we sat down.
I think we have. I think me and you have connected big time.
Yeah, and that's what happens with these things. Like what happens at the Nest, you connect with people, and I've found that with these conversations that we have, the connections are so strong that they don't leave.
No, that's right.
You know, I'm sitting in an amazing space now where I've met so many wonderful people, and each individual person I have a strong connection with, and
that's wonderful.
And I think what's happening at the Nest is so important, and I really want to find out more about the Nest.
Yeah, obviously we'll have more conversations.
Yeah, I'm gonna do some reaching out to them and seeing if there's anything that we can do there.
Yeah.
With the podcast,
maybe get River and Kim.
That would be lovely.
Yeah,
definitely, because it sounds like they're making a real positive impact in the world.
Yeah, they do. It's like it's funny because I've offered to do interviews with them. Oh no, don't. So they're a little bit like that, but just need a little nudge.
Yeah,
little nudge. But I'd like to say to you, thanks for inviting me on.
No problem. Thank you.
Yeah, it was. As I say, I wasn't sure whether I wanted to do it or not, but sitting here now and glad I did.
Wonderful. Well, thank you, John. And if anyone has been watching or listening, thank you for joining us for this conversation.
Yeah.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks a lot.